Yowza.
What up, what up, what up? Y'all already know what it is. Brick City's finest, JD and Dave, back with a No Country with JD and Dave. We do. We just decided to really go ahead and we're going to talk about The Menu. We both got a chance to really watch it, check it out, sat with it for a second, and we decided to go ahead and have a nice little combo about it. Dave, what's good? You want to start it off, kick it off?
You want to chat about The Menu? Nah, it was we've been on the theme today, I think, of just kind of checking out original movies that are kind of dominating the conversation right now. It's easy to put out an IP joint and have everybody clamoring over it, but this is one of the ones that came out last year that it got a lot of raves, like a lot. Like I heard a lot about it, and we finally watched it recently. I know you saw it not too long ago. I liked it. I dug it. It was a mid-budget kind of looking type of thing. It looked like something that New Line Cinema or something would have put out like back in the mid-90s. Had great performances. It was a little. The metaphor was a little like heavy. You know what I'm saying? If you're not really well versed in some of the social political angles that were coming from in it, you might miss it. But even if you do, it's still a fairly interesting kind of joint. Anya Taylor-Joy, Ray Fiennes,
John Leguizamo,
Nicholas Hoult again. He was in there. It was a good cast, man. It was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Just to start it off, we're going to definitely, as we talk about this, we're going to get into spoilers, so just be ready because we're going to talk about this.
We're going to talk about it.
So, but just, yes, the premise I thought was interesting. The setup I thought was interesting. One of the main things that when I first saw the title itself is interesting.
Yeah.
It makes you think, oh, well, is it going to be cannibalistic? Because I know the menu is not a good thing.
Right.
Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that?
Yeah, I was looking for somebody to get eaten.
Yeah, so you go in there already with that sense of dread and everything that's going on. And what's dope is that it actually ends up being something that you pretty much wouldn't have guessed. As far as, I mean, there is danger, and as far as that goes, of course, there's that imminent threat that's there, but you won't really basically understand what it is until you get like super deep into exactly what it is going on. But the basic setup, I thought the basic setup, the introductions, where everybody came in, setting up the characters and the setting, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
They had me really engaged all the way, pretty much through the first two acts pretty well. And even into the third act, it's just that, we'll get into that, but definitely I was engaged for at least the first two acts solid.
Yeah, I felt like it just kind of setting up into, they didn't give you a bunch of backstory on everything. Like you kind of you're dropped into the story like right at the critical point of them going to the point of no return. Because once you're on this boat or headed to this island, there's no turning back. And even from there, they kind of ratchet up the tension. But I wouldn't even call it like suspense because you don't really know what's happening, like you said, for so long. But it didn't feel like suspense, but you're just like, what the fuck's going on? Why?
Yeah, it was like you said, it's more of a tension and confusion.
Yeah.
So, because like you're not necessarily afraid.
Right.
Because even like as they had like security guards and whatnot, everybody was pretty much dressed like a chef. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that overarching like, oh, somebody's going to stomp us to death or beat us or shoot us.
Right.
It was just people that was basically just holding those people there.
Yeah.
So that's where like it left it a softer threat of danger up until
they started explaining what was going on.
Yeah.
I think I liked the mystery of the Anya Taylor character going in because she was the linchpin to you understanding that there was a specific reason why these people were there, and everybody was kind of like cocking their eyes at her for different reasons. And when you find out what the difference is there, then that actually gives the weight to the other end of the plot, which is this chef bringing everybody out there and having this kind of chip on his shoulder for different reasons. But I thought it was dope. I thought it was a interesting screenplay.
Right.
Like I haven't read the whole thing yet, but just to have that as an idea.
How it goes, yeah. Well, just to get a little bit further along in the plot, so what happens is this group of people get invited to this really fancy, secluded dinner. Ralph Fiennes is this world famous chef who makes this like such impeccable and incredible dishes that nobody basically turns down the invite.
Right.
John Leguizamo is kind of a has-been, fallen off actor. He brings his assistant. What's these two names again?
That's Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor's basically the main character.
Yeah. He's an acolyte of the chef that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Nicholas Hoult invites her.
Yeah.
When she wasn't supposed to be there in the first place.
Yeah. And he's a huge dick rider. He's there just to see the chef, and he follows his whole career.
At first, that's what
right.
He tells you. And then you have some other critics that are there to judge the place, and then you have this old white married couple. Shout out Judith Light. Judith Light is
Judith Light is beasting right now. Yo, she got an episode of Poker Face too.
Oh,
killing it.
So shout out. But so you have all these people that are there for a certain specific reason, and as you can pretty much guess yourself, you know that they're all there for
something specific.
Yeah, something specific. Who somebody's there to take something out on them, but you don't necessarily know why. As they're all different type of people. Oh, and there's these like hedge fund guys. These three hedge fund guys that are like really kind of nondescript over there in the corner too. But so anyway,
they're very tech bro-ish.
Right. So he starts bringing out all of these like fancy or not fancy, meals and telling these messed up stories that go along with the meals. And and then after a while, well, let's just leave it right there for right now. So these people are eating these fancy meals, but feeling a little bit weird. The Anya Taylor's character, she's there with him and what's his name again?
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult is so enraptured with what's going on. Like he's not caring. He's just like really hyper focused and obsessed.
He's a stan.
Yeah.
He's a stan.
Super stan. Yeah.
Joint.
So everything that the chef does, that Ralph Fiennes does, is
it's Rafe. It's fine.
Huh?
It's Rafe Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes. Why am I saying Ralph?
Because that's how it's spelled, but he's English or whatever he is. It's Rafe.
Oh, okay. But everything he doing.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It helps. Now y'all know too. So everything that he does, is incredible. Comes out with these meals, these different types of meals and ways things are processed. He has this kitchen with all of these chefs, and they're all like military.
Yeah, like 100% like Terminator X, the S1Ws in line. They ain't fucking around.
Yeah, and so like I said, he's going through like these stories as he goes through the different courses. Now, Anya's character is not enjoying herself, and she's not eating, and that really starts to piss the chef off. So.
Well, also, I mean, if we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves, because these people are there for specific reasons, he's like, well, I don't think it's giving too much away that, like you said earlier, she was actually a last-minute replacement for Nicholas Hoult's original date.
Right.
So, whatever was going to be set in motion had to be with those specific people. So he was like, what the fuck are you doing here? When she shows up, and there's a mystery about who she really is. She's also got connections with,
somebody else in the...
Yeah. So they set up a lot of not necessarily mysteries, but like these great kind of hanging questions that you don't get answers to till later. And it was enjoyable at that point.
Right? Yeah, and like we said, like I think the build up, the way they got to where they was going, and like him and I really had this like kind of affinity for character pieces and dialogue pieces, and so the pacing of it for us was pretty good. I think we was enjoying the way that they were giving out the information, because it really, one thing that I got to give the writer that he did was that he didn't not give you information. You know how somebody will drag you along and still not tell you anything?
Right.
So at least, bit by bit, stuff was coming out and things were happening, which leads us to starting to figure out who the people are in this at this party and what is their relationship to the chef. So basically, the chef, what happens is that he just ends up hating all these people for specific reasons.
Yeah.
He don't like the critics because obviously they criticize and they destroy people's lives with their, what they don't like, whether they're right or wrong. He didn't like something about John Leguizamo's character.
It was his reason was the funniest. Because
because he went to see a movie that he didn't like.
That was shitty.
And it was horrible. And he just was like, and you wasn't even
good in it. He was like,
trying
I
to
felt
be
like
good
you. I think he said he had a real fucked up day, and he went to go see this movie, and that was his favorite actor up until that point. And then he went to see the movie on his fucked up day. He was like, "Yo, you ain't even do nothing for me. Like, what the fuck?
You gotta go up off of here." He invited the husband and wife because they had been coming to his restaurant for so long, but they never remembered what he cooked them or anything like that. And the husband was a piece of trash. And as far as, like we said,
his one financier, the older lady and her husband, not the one you was just talking about,
right?
But the older lady, she was a critic. That's right. She helped him get the restaurant and get to where he,
right.
was before.
Yeah, man, but she shitted on him too.
Yeah, of course.
And the three tech guys, they were just there, just being douches, like being broed out.
Oh well, they had another connection.
And they had embezzled a bunch of money or whatnot and everything. So so there's this. We gonna keep it going. So and his mother was there, drunk as hell in the corner.
Yo, his mom was wild.
Yeah. So he tells all these people, what it is that he don't like about him, what's gonna happen, and he actually just tells straight up everybody that everybody's gonna die.
You're going to die.
Yeah, tonight. Like nobody's gonna live through this night, and this is why, and this is what's happening. He gives a couple of people a chance to run.
All the men.
Yeah, all the men. He gives them a chance to run. They get caught anyway. Get brought right back, and so now he goes and begins to finish the menu himself.
And now he's kind of bringing to light the reasons that everybody's there. And as we find out during this process, we finally get the reveal of the Anya Taylor character and why she wasn't supposed to be there. And so he basically gives her the choice to be like, well, we all gonna die. You either gonna die with us or with them. And so that becomes a different kind of game of cat and mouse. And, she starts trying to figure out ways to get out. And, and overall, I think part of this area, the third act was a little bit where they didn't lose me. But I just was like, it was a little too, you could tell they cut something out somewhere.
Yeah, it just had to start going down.
They
had to start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
But, so we get into the point where now we have her, she's not supposed to be there. They know she's not supposed to be there. She's trying to figure out a way, obviously, to get out and live, and everybody else is, And so now, basically, the reveal is that the menu, the place that they're at, because you may be asking yourself, well, why are these people doing all of this with him? Because it's basically a cult. And so the chef, he runs the cult, and they've all decided to die together and to keep these people here so that they can all die. Yeah. Everybody's going to die together. Everybody who works there, everybody who's eating there, they're planning on dying all together. So it basically ends up being like it's just a cult kind of thing. And like we said, the main character, she's trying to figure out her way out. So that's basically the setup. And we pretty much enjoyed the setup, where it was going, how it was being acted. John Leguizamo looked like he was having a great time.
Everybody, it looked like they always having fun. It felt like a play.
Yeah,
it felt like as soon as it went off, I said that to Money. Yo, this shit felt like a play.
Especially with it being mostly in one
kind of a
one
bubble
setting.
Yeah,
it was like mostly in this dining room.
Yeah,
so it was kind of that way. And so we get to the point where like even people have to kind of own up to whether or not it's real or not. Like this one chef comes out because he made a mistake or he did something wrong, and he kills himself
in front of everybody.
But some people are like, "Oh, that was real." They know.
Right.
Other people are like, "No, it's not real." Until the chef makes sure, like, no. He explains to them, like, "Yes."
Yeah, he even goes so far as to go in on himself. He brings one of the employees up that he actually sexually harassed, and like she stabs him in front of everybody. So he's letting them know like I'm on the menu too. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucked up too. So it's wild.
So that's where it goes now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into the end. Basically what happened. So as he got everybody pretty much into their mind state and almost acceptance of the fact that they're gonna die, what he does is he decide he has a all right, I'm trying to say this in I don't know. He has the chefs come out, they sprinkle they sprinkle
that was
Graham.
dumb.
That was the end.
Dumb, I know. That part was dumb. I'm sorry.
They sprinkle graham crackers all over the floor. They put marshmallows and stuff all over the table and on the people, like give them marshmallow shirts.
Yeah, marshmallow shirts. They gave them chocolate hats
and then they give them these chocolate fezzes.
Yeah.
And then they lit the shit up.
Well,
so he turned everybody into s'mores.
Well, I mean, I think the best part was what happened to old girl, because it was a dope. She kind of tied together the theme of it. So there was one survivor. I mean, whatever. We
I'm about to say we can spoil it. I mean,
so there's one survivor, and what happens is, so once everybody, like he said, starts kind of like resigning to this shit being the end, she starts scrambling, like trying to figure a way out. And she's already had conversations with the chef about what's going on. And she's kind of gleaned some information from him, and she's real crafty. So, like, first she tries to escape. That shit don't work. And then she does what nobody else does, and she appeals to him as a chef on the inside, because part of what he's lost in his, fame and fortune and other things is his passion
for cooking.
Passion for cooking.
Right.
So he, with all of these exotic dishes that he had on the thing, that all these pretentious assholes would they was eating like cold scallions on a rock and trying to act like that shit was delicious. And she was the only person to be like, motherfucker, we didn't get no food.
He killed it with the breadless bread.
Yeah. He was like, motherfucker, we ain't got no food. What the fuck? I'm still hungry. But like she appealed to the part of him that was lost in his fame and success, which was his love and his passion for cooking. And she asked him for something dumb simple, and it looked amazing. It was a fucking cheeseburger. Like, they even got the menu for the cheeseburger.
I promise you that's what gave the person the idea for the whole.
Yeah, dead ass. I
was like, how could a cheeseburger save somebody's life?
Word up.
And they wrote out.
Yeah. I can see that. Because it was a deep. I mean, I think the metaphor of the whole thing kind of got lost in some of the other plots. Yeah. But that right there, like, honed in on what the whole shit was about. It was like, he wasn't feeling appreciated. He lost his drive, yada, yada, yada. And he wanted to blame all these other motherfuckers. And she figured out, like, well, nigga, maybe all you need is somebody to, do what you do this for. To give you what you do this for, which is that feedback.
Yeah, something. Yeah, and like you also have to remember, too, this was their last night.
Right.
So, that was probably the one thing that he wanted somebody to ask him before he died, so he got that chance to do that. But overall, like I said, I think it was a good watch. I'll say like the first 70% of it, maybe even 80 was entertaining.
Yeah.
I found it interesting.
I thought you wasn't gonna like it. Real talk.
Nah, it was cool. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it like a good 7.5.
Yeah, it was
7.5
I fuck
on a
with
good
that.
day.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah, and like I said, also, as him, the way he and I write and the type of stories we like those types of things where it's like you're trying to think your way out of a situation, or you're trying to at least keep a situation under control. Because, like we said, at the end, for the hamburger situation to happen, the cheeseburger situation, but then for him to turn everybody into s'mores, it's like okay, you kind of canceled it out.
Yeah.
So the rest was good.
Because I didn't know what the fuck was going on at a certain point where it was like, what the fuck?
Bro.
And he said it, and I still was like, whatever, B. But
the chocolate hats, bro. I died. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and I mean, I was at a consistent focus while I was watching it.
Your seat type shit.
But then when the marshmallow shirt came out, and then the chocolate hats.
Yo, I was like, what
and
the
then,
fuck?
And this is also a small suspension of belief that we had to kind of concede. I think this is the biggest thing was that the people just let them burn them up.
Yeah, that's where I got fucked up. I was like, yo, word, like they were fighting it and
Up
pleading.
until then.
Everybody was just like, oh, how do we? And then at a certain point, he was like, they was like, all right, whatever, let's just.
Yeah, he got them to like it was either implied that his brainwashing got to their guilt, or they were feeling so guilty they knew they had to die, but either way they just accepted their deaths.
I felt it like this. If I was to give it, the benefit of the doubt of it making more sense, I feel like that's why he had the men run off and be like, well, you escape, and then you come back and get help, and then they caught all of them motherfuckers instantly. I think that kind of took out like the fight and the whatever, they got to the bargaining point, and then there was this like acceptance. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, but they skipped over. I feel like maybe they had to cut something out.
Yeah, to make it more so where they was more because
more
even if he would have drugged them,
right.
I would have
right. That would have made more sense.
Like
yeah.
I was feeding you this food.
Because we was looking for that. We was looking for him drugging them through the wine or something
like that, right? And you'd be like, I was feeding you this food to make you more docile, so that when this point came, you wouldn't be able to move.
Right.
So maybe they cut that out, maybe they didn't. But like we said, like that's like it
was a nitpick.
Yeah, as far as tight as everything else was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can let that go because at least you kind of you stumbled at the end, but
Absolutely.
you still caught it. You know what I'm saying? You caught it. So definitely we would give the menu. I give it about a 7, 7.5.
I say 7.5.
Yeah.
Special shout out to Hong Chow. It looks like her name is. She played the maitre d', the main one. She was killing it. She had a great performance on it. Everybody in there did their thing. Man, yo, people doing their things in these joints,
what
man.
Is that she was in with the superhero? Watchmen. She was in Watchmen.
Was she?
Yeah, she was the Asian lady in Watchmen that was building the clock tower.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That's why I was like,
Yep, sure was. Yeah, and she was looking familiar too, and I couldn't really place her. Yeah,
she did a thing. Everybody. Like I said, I thought it was well done. It was interesting. Where it hit that spot for us? It hit that Twilight Zone spot.
Yeah,
and it didn't go too long. And it just got to where it was going, and how some Twilight Zones, you'd be like, at the end, you'd be like, I didn't really make it that time.
Now you say that, I could definitely feel it on the Twilight Zone. It brings me to the thing where it's classified as a horror. I didn't really think it was a horror, man. I think it was like high suspense. Y'all keep doing that. They did that with Nope as well. Like a lot of these things that people are classifying as horror, I guess it's to market them, or maybe it's just like, I think horror movies are easier to get greenlit because they're cheaper and they make so much return on investment. Maybe that's what the banner is for, but it kind of does these movies a disservice because you're looking for something that's like scary and horror, and it's not there. But I mean, it's intense.
I think that what you call it? I think that the only reason that something like Nope or even this we even get away with that label is because the situations are horrific. Like it'll be a horrific situation to be trapped somewhere where somebody's gonna kill you. And then in Nope, when they had the
I feel you.
They had the people going up in there.
That's the horror of dead meat. It's not like scary, but the horrific shit of you driving around with tons of dead ass nasty ass shit on your shit. Yeah,
and then some of it might spill out the back.
Yeah.
But as far as it being a scary movie or that type of horror movie, we thinking, we came up with Jason and Michael Myers.
Yeah,
when we thinking horror movie, we thinking something like VHS or
or even like more psychological horror.
Something. But regardless, we see where y'all was going with that. We definitely give it our Gene and Siskel. Yeah. So check that out. And that's what we was.
We didn't rehearse that shit, by the way.
Anything else you want to throw up on here before we?
I was just kind of thinking about the discussion we've been throwing out there about like originals, because like and remakes and shit. Because right now we got a whole slew of just. I mean, we already been doing remakes for like 30 years now. I think once like Coneheads popped off in the 80s, it's been like nonstop ever since. But now we just rehashing shit that why? Like, why? Why do we need another White Men Can't Jump? Why? Why is there another house party? Why? They doing another Juice. Why? Why? Stop.
That's disrespectful.
Disrespectful. You know how dope Juice is? You know how dope the original White Man Can't Jump is? You just don't need to redo that.
Well, also,
You
and
just
this
need
is
to
another
leave it
thing
alone.
about stuff like that. Certain stuff, especially in that era, certain stuff is like directly of its time. Like,
Yeah. Yes.
The title,
Yes.
White Men Can't Jump. That is like, I know that is so offensive to most people today, nowadays. That title, I'm surprised they let that title fly.
I had somebody tell me that they had a racist experience because they were called a white boy. Like, this was like 5 years ago.
Because
This wasn't even a long time ago.
When that came out, it'd be like
This is
that.
a grown-ass man, too. He's just like, really? You know? All right.
And when White Men Can't Jump came out, that wasn't nothing that everybody was like, ain't nobody like flinch, ain't nobody pay attention. People was like, oh shit,
Right.
that's the title? Okay.
Right. Okay, all right.
Yeah, let's figure it out. And then we had to go see the movie,
Yeah.
and Billy Ho is our nigga now. You can't tell us nothing about Billy Ho.
Billy Ho and Sid.
Yo, you can't tell us nothing.
King in the motherfucking dot.
The Stoogies. You can't tell us nothing. So that's just all that is, man. But
Come on, baby, I want a home.
But as far as that goes, like we said, I think that things like that, Juice, this, that, those are products of their time. Like,
Right.
sometimes I'll be watching my homie, shout out to Prim's Hood Cinema. You know, he be doing his thing. He be funny as hell. If y'all get a chance, go check him out, Prim's Hood Cinema. He do his reviews. But because he's younger, you know, a lot of the stuff that he say tends to skew to just not even understanding,
Yeah.
like, the fashion.
Frame of reference and
Yeah,
shit,
or
yeah.
the way somebody talking, or what was this, or what was that. And you know, my man do his thing, but that's how a lot of kids look. They be like, "Yo, what was that? Did you really wear that? What was it? What kind of song was that? What was the kind of dance was that?" So there's a lot of that floating around right now. As far and so, just stop redoing stuff like House Party, bro. House Party, the original, showed a good father taking care of his son. You know what I'm saying? He made sure made sure a kid got up in the morning, ate breakfast. You know what I'm saying? He kept him out of trouble.
Yeah.
He was serious.
Yeah.
He was serious about his son not getting in trouble with no knuckleheads.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. He ain't care. He ain't play. And that in itself, as such a characteristic and a trait to have a father, that character should have been in the movie for me.
Well, even more so to me, I'm thinking about it on just the kind of sociological bent, whereas back in those days, we went out and we went to house parties.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They communicate online. They might have their little functions when they like meet up at the mall or something like that. But I mean, you know, people do have house parties and shit. Don't get that twisted.
Yeah, but
I mean,
not like
the
this.
generation,
Not the functions like that.
yeah, the generation that revered that kind of event was us, like specifically us, and it stopped a long time ago. So, but I mean, I brought that up to say, you know, while all of this capital is being, you know, kind of thrown at this nostalgia stuff and maybe not even working, because I don't think the house party joint did that well. I don't know that any of this other stuff's gonna do that well. That's coming down the line because
It shouldn't.
White Men Can't Jump got Jack Harlow in that shit that like people don't know him, don't know who he is already. Like it's just you're just trying to capitalize on something that's gonna, you know, pop for the moment. But the thing about those movies, the reason why you're remaking them is because they were original and they were timeless. Like you never could do that again, you know. And with things like The Menu, like you have all these opportunities to do that over and over again. Like I don't want to see a reboot of The Menu in 10 years or 15 years because for what?
No, but
why not just watch this shit over and over again?
You know how The Menu when you have those types of atmospheres and that type of building, it's like you go from the platform. Mm-hmm. You go from the platform to the menu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got these. The similarities are we have these settings and we have this tension and we have this, you know, this one through line, this one goal.
Yeah.
But we just mold it up in a different way. And so when we have these remakes where it's like, come on, man, y'all not only are y'all not doing the original, but you're making something that is not even in the
it's
the
not even
realm
in the
of what it
vein
is.
of what
Like,
made the other thing work.
yeah, it's like it's not gonna happen. Like I was just saying, like you had me checking out Poker Face last night, and I was like, yo, not that Poker Face should be Velma, but it's closer in the vein to this is a smart person. This is a detective. She's just following a case.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's like if you're gonna do a reboot, like you can't just want to be different just to be different.
I mean, and the wild thing about Poker Face is, I'm glad you brought that up. It's an excellent show. It's probably one of the best joints out right now. It's original in that it's taking big tropes and pieces of pre-existing things. So it's not so original that it's just like the Menu was some super original shit. Never seen nothing like it before. I can't think of like a classification of a type of joint. Maybe, what was that joint with Dennis Miller? With him and the ref, where he had the people hostage on the whatever, something like that kind of black comedy type shit where it's a tight, closed in situation and tensions is right. Like you don't have shit like The Menu, but something like Poker Face is actually right. But something like Poker Face is actually like taking things that are super existent, like it's basically Columbo mixed with like Vegas. Mixed with like, what I'm saying? Burn Notice. Shout out to Burn Notice. And then it's done in the Knives Out Glass Onion style because it's all by Rian Johnson. So like we're not seeing this completely conjures out of the nowhere thing. This is like somebody taking something that already existed and flipping it and putting some style on it and making something original from that.
Yeah, and that's why we hate it when y'all take something that was already formed and then you just like take a sledgehammer and just put dents in that shit for no reason, and then repaint it, and it's like, well,
and they say it's the same shit.
Yeah, and it's like, well, what did you even want to use it for? Why didn't you just build another one?
Yo, if you crash your car, right, and you go take it to the body shop, and they just give you that shit back with the same fucked up dented pieces, but they paint it again and tell you it's the same car, brand new, you gonna be mad in the motherfucker. And that's what y'all keep doing with this shit. Like, what y'all doing? This is not the same thing. And you could take that same energy. I think they could have done something House Party-esque, maybe labeled it something else and not try to run it as a reboot.
Okay.
You could have did that shit. They do that forever.
You know what?
House Party, New Generation.
From the way I was looking
Mansion
at it,
Party.
You know what it looks more like than House Party to me? And I haven't seen it, but it looks more like Men at Work than House Party to me. I mean, not that I would want them to be, but I'm just saying, like, it definitely ain't House Party. It's two dudes that's out the house. They shouldn't even be doing what they're doing. That should be two grown-ass men with jobs out somewhere doing something. Like, I don't know, man. It's
and that style of movie exists. Like, Dope is kind of like that, where it's like the people who have some kind of idea, they're trying to, like, make work, and then capers ensue. You can do original properties like that, and I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice because if there's good performances in that, and if there's good writing in that, the OG audience is like, fuck out of here. And then the people who do see it, they'll be like on some ironic shit, like, no, you didn't. You either got something you have to support, somebody that's personal that's fucking with you that don't want you to talk about it negatively. And I haven't even seen it. So I'm not gonna completely shit on the work of these people that were obviously talented enough to make it to this level. Hell, I ain't making no movie, so I'm shout out to y'all.
We are
for that.
making a movie.
I'm just saying, like,
I
ain't paid for it yet, so shout out for that. But I'm just like, it's gotta be somewhere where you think, okay, putting it under this banner that's going to make it so people compare it to this older thing, you end up doing it a disservice, man. You could probably do something better and have the same success or more if you just say, hey, this is this new thing. We made this movie. We got LeBron James in on it, so it's not like, what I'm saying? You even got Kid and Play in it, so you could have definitely been like Mansion Party. This is a new spin-off of whatever else.
Why wasn't it Kid and Play's house?
Right,
and they threw the party in.
Well, I mean, I don't know how closely to reality that might skew.
No, they just needed to select.
And then hold up. That's probably really LeBron's house. LeBron doing to us.
It was.
LeBron doing to us.
Whole shit was
like,
yo,
fuck that, yo. Like, shoot
save
shit
money,
right there.
Get this tax write-off.
Yup.
Pop up. But what I'm saying is, like, it didn't have to be LeBron James's house. It could have been any, some other rapper's house, or it could have been, and just to tie it in, like we said, we talking about something with such a legacy. The first 3 movies.
I mean, even the fact that it's LeBron James' house, that has nothing to do with what made the original house party work. Part of it was the fact that kids was fucking up their parents' house, and they was gonna get in trouble. It wasn't even no hood shit. We wasn't worried about Kid and Play getting killed. We wasn't worried about
stabbing them.
Well, stabbing them was trying to whoop their ass. But they wasn't trying to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But and then Play, it was Play Mama house. Like, he was trying to keep that shit from getting fucked up.
He trying to be cool. When he kicked everybody out?
when they
broke the toilet. Party over.
Look at the log in his mother neck like Mike Tyson.
Party over. Party's over.
Turn out the
light. Over, G.
Turn out the light.
So y'all already know what it is. But the remakes is out of control. Nobody's handling them with respect to do them right. Nobody's trying to improve on them shits. I'm trying to think of the last good remake.
And you know what? I'm gonna throw this on there. I'm not gonna shit on them totally, because I know a lot of that studio mandate. A lot of these people got a contract. A lot of y'all got jobs that you got to keep. And somebody probably came down, some white dude was like, hey man, you know what I fucking loved, dude, back in the day when I was in college? Fucking House Party, man. We'll make your movie, but you got to make it House Party. And it's fucked up that some of y'all get put in them positions. So I feel like I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to these studios that got this money, that they're putting out content. Dog, there's so much fucking content out there. There's no reason for y'all don't even like the people. Y'all don't even really want to cater to the people who were the OG House Party fans. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for the kids of their kids who don't even remember that there's like
don't even know.
They don't know what the fuck that shit is. They don't know who Kid and Play are.
Let's say they don't know the Drop Science. They don't know none of that.
None of that shit.
They maybe know who Martin Lawrence is.
That's about it. And he ain't even got nothing to do with it. Like, you couldn't even, oh my God, you want a House Party remake?
With no Martin.
No Martin. Martin is here. Martin could have been John Witherspoon. It could have been Bilal House. Oh my God.
Look at this, man.
It could have been Bilal House. It could have been his kids doing the same shit.
Jill Mitchell in there.
Yo, they could have got everybody in there, man. Tisha and them would have been down. Come on, man. Motherfucking AJ Johnson still look good. Like, all of them, like, man. And you know what? I'm gonna probably end up seeing that shit one day.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be sitting around one, so it's not even like, oh, it's unwatchable, it's horrible. But I'm like, I just feel like they kind of shooting themselves in the foot by.
Yeah, it just, how like some shit just be underbaked, like way underbaked. So, but it is what it is. But yeah, we not liking, we not really having no good time with these remakes. Now these reimaginings might be going somewhere with the right push, but these remakes is not the reimaginings. I'm talking about the Winnie the Pooh, Grinch, Gale, them. I'm talking about those.
Yeah.
But these remakes is not it, because y'all not remaking nothing.
Damn.
Man.
Oh, you just that's a deep, dark, awful truth. I'd rather watch Blood and Honey than the fucking House Party remake. God damn it. Fuck.
This is where we at.
That's dark.
This is where we are.
I feel so, it's doo-doo on my soul now.
Yo.
I don't like it.
It's a stain.
Ugh.
This is where we are right now. But, we gonna push through, it's trends and ebbs and flows to everything. So hopefully we could just ride out this remake joint.
I hope this gives everybody that's starring in them joints a green light to do some better original shit that they got in the tuck, yo. Shout out to y'all if that's the setup. I hope so, right. For everybody's sake. Because if you're good enough to get put under the banner like that, if LeBron putting whatever his millions are behind you, I really hope it's merit to your talent, man.
And let me just touch on this real quick. LeBron James, I know that this man definitely loves 90s history, 90s culture, you know what I'm saying? But I also know that being one of the best basketball players to ever live, he don't got time to be overseeing no whole movies and rewriting scripts and you know what I'm saying, to doing it like, nah, that's not the way I remember it when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff is coming out, so I don't know what's up with the company or what it is, but Bro.
What he's trying to say is, can I get a job?
Yo,
LeBron,
what's up?
Come on.
We can help you
We
out.
got you. We
can
got
help
you.
out.
We seen that shit, and we know how to look. Bilal House, starring Martin Lawrence. He doing Bad Boy 4. You know he good for it.
Let's
Come
go.
on, come
We could've made it
on.
happen. But y'all already know what it is. We had a good time. Thank you for joining us over here on No Country. Don't forget to do the likes, subscribes, shares if you got them. You know what I'm saying, Dave? You want to tell the people something?
Go watch Poker Face and The Woman King. It's out on digital now. Bang.
Y'all heard the man. Get up in there, do your thing, but we gonna get up out of here and we will catch y'all soon. Peace, stay well, and